What's up? Welcome to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Thank you for tuning in because it's right smack dab in the middle of conference action, basketball, men and women's. And I got Coach Gail here. How you doing, Coach Gail?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Coach Gail. We set it off camera. You keep on trucking. You keep on trucking every week. Last Friday, Ashley 50, South Brunswick 11.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Coach.
Yeah. It was a great team win. Everybody got in the game, put in lots of minutes, and we had a great defensive effort in the second half. We made adjustments, and we only gave up 2 points in the whole second half of that game Friday night.
Wow, Coach. Inside of a situation like this where you see, okay, it might be a little dominance going on, do you sit down your players, your key players, and let's see what we can do? Or do you say, look, we're going to run this first half with our key players and we're going to see, add in and adjust like you
Yeah, you never want to go into a game assuming anything because a lot of times if you go in and, have kind of a relaxed mentality than the girls do and then all of a sudden it's a close game and you never know what can happen.
Correct.
So we have to, as coaches, approach each game that we're going in there and we're doing what we do. We're going to start off pressing. We're going to, be intense on defense. We're going to, look to score right away and attack on the offensive end and don't let up. I always say put the gas pedal on until I tell you to pull it off.
Right.
So, and then, we'll get in a lot of subs, rotation and everything during a game like that to get everybody some playing time.
Did you see this particular game, this last Friday game, did you see anyone else kind of peek out? Any new players that might be like, oh, okay.
Not really any new players, but again, everybody got in and did their job and kept the intensity and the level of play up. Okay. We didn't have a letdown. Again, a lot of the subbing came in the second half, and we only gave up 2 points.
Wow.
So that's, like I said, that's a great team effort.
Coach, congrats. I mean, you just, like I said, keep trucking.
Yeah, thanks.
Next, we're on exams.
Yes.
So Friday, West Brunswick.
Right.
You go to West Brunswick?
No, they come to us.
Okay. Screaming Eagles, get ready. You got to come on out to Halliburton.
That's right.
And hang out at Ashley.
After
so
exams.
After exams.
Celebrate.
So is there a light practice schedule this week because of exams, and then you go into a game on Friday?
Yeah, definitely. We adjusted our practices with the boys and the JV coaches teams also to make sure, in wrestling, to make sure we all get in and get out early so the kids have plenty of rest and studying time and get ready for exams. And there's no New Hanover County games this week due to testing until Friday.
Got you. Coming off a game like the South Brunswick game, do you have to kind of control that mentality? Like, oh, we just got somebody, we going to the next thing. Do you have to say, okay, each game is a different game? How do you approach that?
Yeah, of course. Again, we have to look at it as now we're starting our second time playing everybody in the conference. That starts on Friday night.
Got you.
So, you can't remember what happened or what you did the first game. You have to go into each game like it's a new start of the season,
Right.
And again, I think that's why it was so important for us to play those teams in our Christmas tournament, even though we took some losses, but it also prepared us to be ready to play at a higher level.
All right. So this week you go on the run for Friday, and then you jump back to your regular schedule on Tuesday?
Yeah, the following week. Yep. We are Tuesday, Friday, but we also have a home game on Wednesday. So the following week we play 3 games. We play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, get ready.
Yeah.
Screaming
we
Eagles.
had 3 last week, too.
Yes, I remember coming off of that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you got a long stretch, so you get a little break this week.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
And then go into one game on Friday. Screaming Eagles, I need you to get out there, support your team. Ashley High School versus West Brunswick coming up this Friday. We need everybody out there checking out this game, checking out these star players. It's an exciting time at Ashley High School, especially for women's basketball.
That's right.
I enjoy seeing the highlights and everything.
Thank you. We're undefeated in conference halfway through, so we hope to continue that on. And just another little side note, Sanaya Rivers hit her 15. She scored over career now 1,500 points as a junior.
Wow.
She did. She hit it on, we didn't realize until Monday at practice, but she hit it Friday night.
Well, congrats to Miss Rivers. I owe her a horse game. Let's get it. It's going down. But thank you, Coach, for coming through.
Of course.
Friday, Ashley versus West Brunswick right here. And we'll be back with more Sports Roundtable, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. We're still talking Ashley basketball, but now we're on the men's varsity. Make sure you lock in. I got Coach Gulledge. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. Thanks
Good
for
to
having
see
us,
you, man.
Yeah.
Right smack dab, you're inside of conference play as well. Gonna have a little break this week, right, for exams.
Correct.
But you're coming off. You went to your own old homestead, not the actual school, but the city.
Yes.
Kinston played Trinity. 66-58. Talk to me, Coach.
You know what? Webb Wellman and Hoop State put together a really, really great Martin Luther King tournament.
Okay.
You know, they had Kinston and Farmville play one another.
Oh, wow.
For the marquee matchup, and they had just so many teams that were there. Cox Mill came down, and some other prep schools came down. But we kicked off today at 12.
Okay.
12 o'clock, and you know, being able to get back on that home side bench, it felt like I never left.
Oh, man.
And you know, and our kids were pretty fired up because they walked in and, you know, they saw all the pictures of the state championship stuff, and they saw the banners, and you know, our kids have really never had a chance to experience that. So, you know, it's just a good time going back and seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Good.
And they treated me well there. But like I told the guys, I said, you know what, I always love this place, but Ashley's where we are now, and my love is at Ashley High School. So we did a really good job. The team we played, Trinity Christian, was 16-2. We fell behind early and had to dig ourselves out of a hole, but our kids just really, they competed and got on the floor for loose balls and just, you know what, they played their hearts out, and that's all you can ask for.
That's what it is.
We were able to sneak one out.
I love it.
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to ask you this question, Coach, but what are you going into this conference season, whether it's Hoggard, whether it's West Brunswick or South Brunswick, every game is different. What do you tell your guys before you step on that court? You
know, we just really, each team is a different piece of the puzzle. You know, with West Brunswick, they've got their bigs and a really good guard. So you know, that's a different type of team to prepare for. With Kurt over at New Hanover, very, very good guard play. So you're really playing. He's really 5-out motion, which is a little bit different than. You know, you look at with Brett Queen over at Hoggard. He's got he's got two wings out there that can really, really stroke it. But he also has some size inside. But they're going to slow it down. They want to play the game in the low 30s to low 40s. Then you get to Laney and with Eric, and you know, they just like to run up and down, and that's normally a fun game. But you know, last time we saw them, there's a lot of fouls in that game. But for the most part, you just try to prepare one game at a time, and you don't look too far ahead.
That's what's up. A normal day at Ashley High School, the guys are out. Is practice early, practice late? What's a normal day in Ashley basketball?
Well, on a normal day, we switch up with the girls.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, if the girls will have an early practice, we'll go late. May do a little study hall, and then go into practice. If we've got the early practice, as soon as the bell rings, it's we go and put our boots on and go to work.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's but you know, we're still dealing with young kids. Basketball is just a tiny part of what they're involved with school and their academics and everything. So we hope to use the game as an outlet and a network base where these guys are meeting some new people, different towns, and you never know when you're going to need a friend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, Coach, you go to West Brunswick Friday.
Actually, they are coming to us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I did say that.
So they're coming.
Ashley, yes.
Yeah, they're coming to us. They're coming off a huge win at New Hanover. It's tough to go into Brogden and go over there and just have to fight your way out of there.
Exactly.
It's a different feel.
Right.
They've got a great home court advantage. I feel like always tell our kids, guys, we're down 8 walking into the house.
Wow.
We're down 8, so we've got to take care of the ball. But West Brunswick went in there, and I saw where they were able to take care of New Hanover. So that really shakes things up at the top a little bit. We've got our nose in it.
Yes.
You know, it's time to put both feet and our hips in it too as
Gotcha.
well. We want to be part of the conversation here in the next 2 weeks, but we're going to really have to bear down and prepare, and our guys have got to get ready to play.
Right. What do you do going into a game? It's been light all week because you've had exams, and then Friday you got a game. That's a conference game. How do you prepare those guys?
You know what? When you're dealing with teenagers, you can flip a coin.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You try to keep, and especially during exam time, it's just things are just different. You know, some of them are getting a little bit more sleep. Some of them are not getting any sleep.
Right.
It's really a tough week for a coach.
Gotcha.
Because you really don't know how they're going to be in practice, and you really can't get too upset because they've got a lot. First and foremost, is taking care of those exams.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
and then coming in at practice at different times, and like I said, you may have 3 guys that didn't have exams, but you may have 10 that did, and you can imagine trying to get those guys fired up and going for practice.
Yeah.
But we'll do some light stuff today. Probably do some, getting some shots up, things like that. We'll do some competition drills to get the juices flowing a little bit, and we'll get them out of there so they can go and put some times in on their books.
Excellent, Coach. Look, it goes down this Friday at Ashley. They're taking on West Brunswick. Like I said before, I need the Screaming Eagles out there because it's conference time. And they're in the thick of it, and you need to get out there with your school and represent Ashley High School. They got to come to Halliburton, so we're going to have a good time, Coach.
Yes, sir, we sure are.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man. I appreciate you.
All
Thank
day.
you.
We'll be right back with more Sports Roundtables, all brought to you by Papa John. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am your guest host, Brandon Big B Hickman. We're talking basketball this entire segment. And this particular segment, we're talking to New Hanover High School women's varsity. And it is my pleasure, my honor to have Coach Gaddison. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
All right, everything good. Talk to me, Coach. We coming off a non-conference win, Pamplico. It was a tough loss. 45, Hanover 45, Pamplico 70.
Yeah, they had they was extremely big inside.
Oh, really?
And our big lost a family member, so she wasn't able to make the trip.
Yeah.
So they beat us up in the inside, but they're extremely good team, good coach team.
Okay.
As soon as we got off the bus, we already knew what it was going to be. It was a small setting, and everybody was there to root their team on.
Oh, wow.
So like like the coach said before, we went in down 8, we went down 20.
We're going in the gym.
Oh yeah.
Right. Now, before then, in the conference, you guys, the women's team has been talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. It's been talked about a lot. Miss Shuford.
Oh yeah.
She's a dominant player from New Hanover High School. And this Friday, you go into North Brunswick. How do you feel about that with her?
I mean,
being
she's
healthy and everything.
She's stepping up. She's a sophomore. We put a lot on her being a sophomore.
Gotcha.
And she's grown into her role. She's starting to become a better leader. So
cool.
I'm excited to see what the rest of the season will look like. Just with her, just learning to be a leader.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Now with a support team, she being a sophomore, that means you guys are fairly young.
Yes, sir.
So you might have, 1 or 2 seniors on the team?
We have 3 seniors and 2 juniors.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so
we have about 15 players.
That's huge, and she's a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
So you got a lot of time to build.
Yes.
Going into the same thing with you guys, light week, exams, and then you got a game on Friday? Is that
Yeah, we have an extremely big game on Friday.
Right.
That we definitely need to bring it. But it's exam week, so we want them to focus on getting the exams done.
Right.
And then, you know, at the time that we have with them, we just plan on doing a little stuff, little drills, little shooting drills, a little, you know, a little conditioning to make sure they still ready for Friday. But, you know, just get in what we can get in a little bit of time we have.
Mentally, when you're going into a game like this, what do you say to your young ladies by saying, okay, look, we have a conference game and we're being talked about in the conference as, you know, we up there, let's go. Where we're going to fall depends on this game and several other games in the next couple of weeks. What do you say to your young ladies without putting all the pressure on them, but still saying, hey, this is an important game?
Well, I think everybody understands that we're young. So it's pressure on them, but it's really not pressure on them because, I mean, I feel we're doing good. We didn't expect as much as we're getting out of them now. Okay. So they're young. We just tell them, we personally tell them go out there and have fun. Okay. You know, we just preparing and getting better every day, just working on basic fundamentals and just going through the season. Of course, we want to win, but we understand we're going to take our bumps and bruises because we're a young team.
I normally don't say opinion, but I see a lot of growth and a lot of potential for growth with New Hanover High School varsity women. Well, it's a lot of things, and I know you probably see it too, being there every day.
I mean, we have like Tamaya Marshall. She's a junior. Okay. But we expecting we got 5 girls out there. Maybe the only person that has experience is a sophomore, Drea. Right. Andrea, she's the only person that really has varsity experience on that starting 5. Oh wow! So it's just like we expected them to be so much, but we have to understand that you know they're young. These the first couple the real minutes they're getting on varsity. Right. Yeah.
Get ready, Wildcats. They're not playing. You got North Brunswick. You got to do a little business. You got to come to Market Street. You got to come to Market Street, the Hanover Gym, man. And that's a like Coach said before. He said you go in, it's already 8. Oh yeah, you're down by 8 just because of the fans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that's a lot of traditional basketball going on, men's and women's. Definitely. So make sure all my Wildcat fans, make sure you get to New Hanover High School. This Friday, they go against North Brunswick. It's going to be a great game, conference game, and I'm looking forward to popping in and checking what's going on out because I've been able to pop into all the games, but haven't been to Hanover yet, so I'm definitely popping in this week, man, and congratulations on everything you got going on.
Appreciate it.
And look to you this week. We'll be right back with more Sports Roundtable, all brought to you by Papa John's. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B, and let's go on out, like my grandma say, to Highway 133. Or was that 132? 133. We're going up to Laney, E.A. Laney. How you doing, Coach Davis?
I'm doing great. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Good to see you. 4-game winning streak.
Yes, sir.
You coming off of that. And then a tournament expo situation. You played Grays Creek.
Yes.
And won that game 78-52.
Yes. We've been struggling early just putting the ball in the basket. I mean, I felt like early on all year our defense has been really good, but I mean, we got a lot of guys that can score the basketball, and for whatever reason, we just haven't been putting the ball in the basket like we're capable. We're shooting the ball going into the last 4 games. We're shooting less than 40% from the field. And Friday night we played North Brunswick, and ball started going in. We shot 59%, had 13 threes on Friday night, scored 77 points. Wow. Come back on Monday. Yesterday, shot 62% from the floor and made 13 threes. So hopefully, you know, carry on from that. And, you know, as a former player myself and a shooter, you know, once that ball goes in the basket, you feel like, you know, you're not going to miss. And starting to see some guys that had been struggling from the three-point line start to make some shots.
Good. That's big. Coach, I saw some clips, I think North Brunswick game. You guys give and go.
Yes.
You guys are gone.
Yeah, we try to
ball
play
in, y'all gone. It's gone. It's
you know, I played for Hall of Fame coach Leroy Holden at North Mecklenburg, and my senior year, we averaged like 92 points a game. kind of carry that over into my style. I mean, we like to get the ball out and go. It's my 19th year as a head coach, and pretty much us, most coaches have a system, and my system is we want to get it off the glass, we want to push.
Yes.
We also want to score when other teams make a basket.
Right.
A lot of times a team will score, and you'll see the opposing team, they'll walk it up the floor, try to run a set, but we want to get it out and go as fast as we can. We want to keep the pressure on the defense 94 feet at all times. But I do feel like one of the things that we've spent a lot of time in this last 3 weeks doing is spending time on our half court. Because when you do play teams that are able to slow you down, you got to be able to score in the half court. And we've really spent a lot of time, and I've seen a big change from our half court offense due to that.
Right. Not like the other teams I've interviewed earlier. You had a game on Monday.
Yes.
So you got a little chance to get some work in.
Yes.
Before your Friday game because you're in exams.
Exactly. We played on Friday. Usually during exams you're off from Friday to Friday.
Right.
It's tough this time of year. If you have injuries, you can get guys healthy. You can start working on some fundamental things, kind of go back to training camp almost.
Right.
But this time of year with a veteran team like I have, 7 days can be a long time to go without a game. So it's great to have that game yesterday.
Gotcha.
Kind of breaks up that week, and now we go in. We got exams, but we'll come in for the next 3 days and prepare for Topsail for Friday night.
Friday night, Buccaneers, get ready.
That's it.
It goes smack dab still in conference play. So we're in the middle of conference play because you'll play them again. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes.
So this is one of your first times you're going to play Topsail.
It is.
At home.
Exactly. It's actually Hall of Fame night.
Oh, man.
So we should have a big crowd.
Yes.
Got, I think, 5 inductees going into the Hall of Fame Friday
Okay.
night. Always a big night for us at Laney when we do that. We're 4-3 in the conference first time through. Lost to Topsail at the buzzer. So we got a little payback is what we got to do.
I got you.
Guys are a little hungry because of it. Just a hard fought game. They were able to make a shot at the buzzer, and just a tough thing. Unfortunately, I haven't had that happen many times in my career. But it's probably happened 2 or 3 times in my career, and those games always stand out because it's like a defensive mishap at the very end of the game. So the guys are excited to get back through the second time, and we're jockeying for playoff positions right now.
And that's the big thing. I know coaches always say, hey, win the city, win the conference, win the state, regionals, and that is your focus one day at a time, one game at a time.
It is.
To make sure your guys know. And going into a game like this Topsail game at home, how do you want them to be energized and ready to go, but how do you bring it down so it's not, the nervousness doesn't oversight your skills?
Well, we started out, we were 1-3 in the conference. We felt like we're better than that.
Right.
And so we kind of dug ourselves a hole, trying to dig ourselves out of that hole.
Gotcha.
So our motto has been state playoffs. I mean, we're in a huddle. Everything we do is state playoffs because we got to have that mindset. We got to get ourselves back in that position.
Gotcha.
We got a big win last week at Ashley because we're competing with Hoggard and Ashley.
Yes.
Because we're the 3 4A teams.
Yes.
So that was a big win for us. But we're basically taking it. I know it's cliche, but just taking it one game at a time. A lot of people ask me, who you playing next week, and a lot of times I don't even know who we're playing because I'm so focused on the next game.
Right,
exactly. So, you get finished last night, immediately get home, start watching film of Topsail, turn the focus to them. We've been very good at home. I mean, we opened a new facility my first year, and somebody was asking me what our winning percentage was at Laney with the new facility, and so I went back and did some research, and if I'm not mistaken, we're like 26-5 at home.
Oh, wow.
So there's a comfort level when we're playing at Laney.
In a beautiful gym like that, why not?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Coach Davis, good luck at Laney. I need the Buccaneers. You need to be at Laney this Friday. Topsail is coming to the house, but y'all Laney. So that's how that goes down.
Right.
Thank you, Coach Davis, for coming through. It's Sports Roundtable. We'll be back with more. It's all brought to you by Papa John. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman. And like I said, this whole entire segment we've been talking basketball, and that's what we're in. We're in the heat of conference. So I think we're coming around to playing the second conference game. Coach Queen is in from Hoggart High School. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. Good to be here.
Last time we talked, you had you were running on a 3-game week, which is a little sort of out of the ordinary. It's usually 2 games in a week, but you guys had 3 games. And last game on that you just had, 1-point loss.
Yeah, we had 2 tough losses since we've been here last. Lost to New Hanover in overtime last Tuesday, and got a win at Topsail on Friday night. Played pretty well up there, and then really tough one yesterday. Led the whole game. Played a really good Holly Springs team from the Raleigh area. They have a 6'9" center and a 6'8" power forward that's going to already signed a Division I scholarship for next year.
Wow.
And we did a great job defensively, and then had a 2-point lead, and their 6'9" center hit a 3 with 2 seconds left to beat us. That was the only time that we trailed. So it's a tough couple losses in the last week, and we've got to do a better job of not putting ourselves in situations where the end of the game is in doubt like that, and any play at the end of the game can affect the outcome.
Definitely. Let's look at your stretch.
Yeah, we got some highlights from all 3 games. Okay. Starting out with our game at home against New Hanover, and we got off to a really good start in the first quarter. Thought it was going to be a good night for us, and we had a lead going into the second quarter, and then got outscored 19-2 in the second quarter. Just had 13 turnovers in the first half, and just really played awful. And then made a great comeback. We were down 15 going into the fourth quarter, and just kind of kept chipping away, and were able to get the game into overtime. Had a chance to win it. Had a 80+% free throw shooter at the free throw line with 2 seconds left that could have put us up by 1, and we didn't connect on that, and ended up losing by 3 in overtime. Proud of the guys for fighting back, but just can't dig a hole like that. And then we went up to Topsail on Friday night, and once again got off to a great start. We were up 24-7 with 6 minutes left to go in the first half, and then didn't score again the rest of the first half. Topsail scored 16 points in a row, and then we were kind of in a battle the rest of the night. But did some really good things in both of those games, but just need to develop more consistency. One of the things that you see here is we were shooting the ball well from 3-point range, and then if we start missing those shots, we've got to do a better job of finding other ways to score and not just settling for 3. And that's what we did to kind of pull away a little bit in the second half. We were able to get some stuff inside, and it wasn't all just shooting 3s. And then it kind of opens things up for your 3-point shooters when you can get the ball into the paint and kick it out like we did on those last 2 shots. Good bounce back conference win to close the first half of the conference play out at 6-1. We're in a first place tie with New Hanover right now. West Brunswick's a game behind. Laney's 2 games behind, but
right.
I think it's going to be a dogfight between the 4 of us down the stretch. And then here's highlights from yesterday's MLK Day shootout up at Trask High School. I could not be more proud of our guys defensively for how they played to hold Holly Springs to 34 points in the game. And the game was not. We didn't try to slow it down or anything. They just couldn't get shots off against us. They had about 10 possessions in the game that lasted more than a minute. The first 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we had 1 possession that lasted 20 seconds, and they had the ball twice for a total of 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Wow.
So we were great defensively. We just didn't have enough offensive possessions, and it came down again. We had a chance to go up 3 with a free throw with about 15 seconds left and missed it. We were down 2, and they came down and were able to make the three with 2 seconds left, and we just weren't able to. 2 seconds, and you got to go the length of the court. That's pretty hard to do. But proud of our guys for the way that they're playing defensively. We just need to continue to improve on the offensive end. Yesterday we didn't turn the ball over in the last 15 and a half minutes of the game.
Wow.
But like I said, we were on defense for so long that sometimes that disrupts your shooting rhythm on offense.
Correct.
So hopefully we can have a good week of practice here. We don't play until Friday. We've got kids are taking exams right now,
Correct.
So they're not in school as long each day, and then we have some time each afternoon and evening to practice a little bit.
I was going to ask you that. Is it a little lighter practice this week because
it's
of
shorter?
Gotcha.
We keep it hour and a half start to finish on exam when they have an exam the next day, and some of the kids don't have exams during this stretch, but we don't keep them there as long, and so. Hopefully we can have 3 good days of practice.
Cool.
And then get a road win on Friday night down at South Brunswick.
We're coming off, a loss like that, even though it wasn't conference. How do you get your guys, prepared on Friday for, because you got a light practice and then you're coming off something like that?
Well, what we talked to our guys about is that, on the day, yesterday, you should, it should hurt and, it should bother you. But, when you wake up the next day, you got to put that behind you and you got to move forward because you don't want to string losses together. You don't want to lose the next game because of the previous game.
Correct.
And, so you have to move forward. And, we have to do that as coaches too. I mean, you replay, you lose a game like that, and you replay all kinds of things that you could have done differently,
right.
And where's that one play that could have changed the game, and but like I said, when I woke up this morning, my focus was on preparation for practice and what we need to do to get better today. You can't dwell on what happened the day before because there's nothing you can do to change it.
Exactly.
What you have to do is work to prevent it from happening again.
Looking forward to it. So at South Brunswick this Friday, Coach, I have to tell you, you got a couple that really put them in the buckets. They out there stroking them, and you got, some okay size down there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do really well up at South Brunswick.
Yeah, hopefully we can have a good second half of the conference season and try to get a conference championship.
Oh, that's what's going down. Hoggart, we're going to go over to Southport just a little bit. Right before you get to Southport, we're going to be at South Brunswick. Hoggart at South Brunswick for a game on Friday. Vikings get on the road and go support your team because that's how that goes down. It's Sports Roundtable. Thank you for tuning in for this week's edition of Sports Roundtable in New Hanover County Schools. All brought to you by Papa John's.